Good evening, class. First, I would like to apologize for my voice. I'm a little under the weather at this moment, but I'm going to continue with my speech. Good evening, class. My name is Cody Nixon, and this will be my persuasive speech for Comms 2302, Public Speaking, titled Cigarettes. The Death of You and Possibly Me. I will begin by saying that I'm from the great state of Texas that has a no smoking in public ordinance established, but I currently reside in the state of Georgia, but I do not have one, which I can definitely tell the difference. With that being said, for the following question, I would like you to imagine that you're in Golden Corral with your family with ages that range from 2 to 82, and your niece has asthma and your grandmother has COPD. How would you feel if your table is bombarded with a heavy cloud of smoke from someone else's table? I know I would ask for a refund, and me and my family would have to leave. I mean, even a smoker would have sympathy for an asthmatic child or a sickly granny. Maybe. Actually, I'm not sure. Either way, an ordinance restricting public smoking will reduce the detrimental effects of secondhand smoke, reduce the risk of life-threatening conditions that smokers are susceptible to, and also deglamorize smoking by reducing exposure to children and non-smokers. In order to discuss secondhand smoke, we must become familiar with its definition. Now, according to the American Cancer Society, secondhand smoke is also called environmental tobacco smoke, and it is broken down into two categories. Mainstream smoke, the smoke exhaled by a smoker, and there's also side stream smoke, which is smoke from the lighted end of cigarettes, pipes, cigars, and tobaccos burning in a hookah, possibly. This type of smoke has higher concentration of cancer-causing agents, or carcinogens, for those who understand medical terminology, and is more toxic than mainstream smoke. It also has smaller particles than mainstream smoke. These smaller particles make its way to the lungs and the body because of cells very easily because it's so small. So those of you having casual drinks in hookah bars and resisting the temptation of taking a puff aren't safe. According to WebMD, tobacco smoke has more than 4,000 chemical compounds, and at least 250 are known to cause diseases. So why would a smoker, let alone a non-smoker, want to be exposed to that, or anyone else, to these poisons? But if that isn't enough to prove the need of an ordinance, according to the CDC, secondhand smoke causes children to have frequent ear infections, more frequent and severe asthma attacks, respiratory symptoms, for example, coughing, sneezing, and shortness of breath, respiratory infections such as bronchitis and pneumonia, and a greater risk of sudden infant death syndrome, also known as SIDS. And in adults who have never smoked, secondhand smoke can cause heart disease. It is estimated that the secondhand smoke causes nearly 34,000 heart disease deaths each year during the period of 2005 and 2009 of this study among adult non-smokers in the United States. These are alarming facts that will continue to remain true until an ordinance is passed to save non-smokers and children from secondhand smoke. So we've discussed the effects of secondhand smoke. Now let's discuss the effects of the cigarettes on smokers. There are so many diseases and conditions attributed to cigarettes that I don't have enough time to cover them all. So I will focus on heavy hitters. In the United States, the mortality rate of smokers is 3 times that of people who don't smoke. In fact, the CDC says that smoking is the most common preventable cause of death in the United States. Yes, death. 3 times the mortality rate. Since from my experiences, when I have been trying to persuade my friends to not smoke or people that I work with not to smoke, I always hear someone say, well, we all have to die from something. And that, I'll agree, is true. Dying is the easier part. The hard part is living with the effects of strokes and brain damage and eye cataracts and macular degeneration, cancer of the nose, lips, tongue, and mouth, laryngeal and pharyngeal cancers, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, heart disease, high blood pressure, leukemia, and impotence. Those are only a few of the hundreds of things of long-term effects associated with smoking, according to mydr.org. This ordinance would help decrease smokers' ability to smoke in public, and as a result, reduce the amount of harmful smoke they inhale therefore assisting with risk reduction. According to the CDC, bans decrease the overall number of cigarettes people smoke in some cases. Actually, results in people quitting. So ask yourself, why not a ban? While you think about that question, I would like to transition to the final reason why there should be an ordinance prohibiting smoking in public places. As a child, I remember the old cigarette ads making smoking look really cool and good. And also remembering that all the toughest guys in the movies like Clint Eastwood, Denzel Washington, Johnny Depp, Robert De Niro, ended the most climactic moments of my favorite movies with a cigarette. How could anyone resist how cool smoking a cigarette could be? Even animated characters were used to glamorize smoking. According to VintageAdBrowser.com, Joe Camel was introduced to the U.S. in 1988. Then in 1991, the campaign was criticized by the Journal of American Medical Association. They published a study showing that among young children, Joe Camel was recognized more than the Flintstones or Mickey Mouse, alleging that the campaign was targeted at kids, which is probably true. The campaign makers refused to give in at first and then denied allegations, but finally canceled Joe Camel in 1997. How crazy is that? With all that aforementioned ways of promoting cigarettes, none is more effective than a non-smoker or a child witnessing someone smoking firsthand. Since the effects of smoking are not immediate, all one can see is the pleasure the smoker feels as they take that puff after puff of this silent killer. According to the article by Matt Cunningham titled 10 Reasons Why People Start Smoking, he explains in short, social rewards are the gifts people feel they receive when participating in group activity. Most often this means some sort of acceptance. Smokers at an office building who take cigarette breaks at similar times may bond while they smoke. Likewise, the relationship struck when one smoker asks another smoker, "Got a light?" gives the participants a feeling of acceptance and camaraderie. So one must conclude that deglamorization of smoking is as important effect of enacting an ordinance banning smoking in public places. In conclusion, an ordinance banning smoke in public places is vital to the health of our community. Not only will it save the lives of non-smokers, but it may also encourage smokers to reduce the amount of cigarettes they smoke or even quit due to limitation of places that they can smoke. In addition, it is the possibility of preventing non-smokers and children from even lighting up that first cigarette. So who wouldn't want an ordinance that will reduce the detrimental effects of secondhand smoke, reduce the risk of life-threatening conditions the smokers are susceptible to, and also deglamorize smoking by reducing the exposure to children and non-smokers? This concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening. Thank you.